Hello, friends. You're listening to the audio reading of Cult of the Sacred Runes. It's a novel written by the author Mad Snail, and this is chapter 14. After trashing Yewei's room and emptying themselves, Du Mingzi and his gang left Yewei's room behind. A few hours later, Yewei finally arrived at the Ye Manor's front gate after walking through the streets that were lit up by starlight. The Ye family was not quite that known in Green Moon City, but they were relatively well established in the southwestern district, as their manor encompassed 10 acres of bright and open land. The blood-red wooden gate was adorned with 2 well-polished copper ring handles. 2 grand marble lion statues decorated each side of the gate, and standing in front were 4 sharp-looking guards dressed in fancy uniforms. To regular citizens, the Ye Manor looked grand and majestic, but to Yewei, it did not. He frowned in confusion as he looked at the 4 guards. Why are there only 4 guards guarding the gate? Social status was very important for most families, and the strength, or more importantly, the quantity of guards symbolized the power and influence a family held. It was a show of vanity, after all. Usually there are 8 4-star students guarding the gates. Why are there only 4 guards today? "Master Yewei," they all called out. The guards bowed and greeted the young master of the household. Yewei nodded back, wondering what happened to the rest of the guards as he headed toward the courtyard. He stopped, however, when he overheard a loud conversation whilst entering the courtyard. "Fu Xun, why is he only getting 50 silver? Our little Yewei is living and studying at South Star Academy. How could 50 silver possibly be enough? Don't we normally send him 150 silver? Why are we only giving him 1/3 of what he usually receives?" "Madame, truth be told, the family, we don't have that much money left. The master even sold his green-maned unicorn with the carriage, and he had to let go of a handful of guards." "What? This is outrageous. Are we really in such a desperate position?" Being on the other side of the wall, Yewei could only hear the muffled voices intermittently due to the noisy street. He frowned in puzzlement upon understanding what was being said. The Ye family had always been financially stable, and actually didn't do too bad for themselves. Hearing about the financial instability of their family, and how the master of the house sold his beast carriage, Yewei was shocked to the extreme, as this had to be a fantasy. Although Yewei had almost no presence in the Ye family, the family never forgot about him. His allowance always arrived on time, and everyone in the family was very friendly towards him. Yewei, despite the heaviness he felt, pushed open the wooden door in the front of the little yard. "Pa, Ma, I'm home," he said as he walked toward the house. "Little Wei!" The front door popped open, and a woman in her 30s threw herself at Yewei. She was plainly dressed, but it worked together with her light and natural makeup, complimenting her well as she gave off a warm and pleasant air. She was Yewei's mother, Zhou Wan. "Ah, young Master Yewei has returned." Fu Xun, the butler, stood beside Zhou Wan and respectfully greeted Yewei as he squeezed a smile out of his tired face. Yewei was not naturally talented, not in his body nor his sentient. The Ye family, with that in mind, did not mock or bully him. He was just inadvertently ignored from time to time because he had no chance of becoming a warrior. The elders' focus in the family fell on the more talented kids his age. The Ye family didn't have to worry about having a roof over their heads or food on the table, but these new internal and external problems made it more important than ever to stick together. "Mr. Fu!" Yewei was happy to see familiar faces again and greeted the butler with a smile on his face. "Ma'am, excuse me." Fu Xun left the gray money pouch with Yewei's mom, then bowed and left the house. "Little Wei, why are you so sweaty? Did you walk all the way home? Come sit here and rest. You silly child, how many times do I have to tell you that the journey is too long a walk for your body? You should have just rented a horse carriage for the trip. It's just money after all, and our family is fine and eating well." Zhou Wan raised her eyes and gazed at her son, nagged him while looking for a handkerchief for his sweaty face. Then she poured him a cup of tea. "Where's Dad?" Yewei asked, glancing at the deflated money pouch butler Fu left his mom, and started imagining the horrible situation in his head. Your father has been busy dealing with family business. He hasn't been home for 5 days now. He's working on something. Don't worry about him. Are you hungry? Mommy will go make you some food, Jo-won said with a smile. Currently, the 72-year-old 3-star condensing prime stage warrior Ye Zing-ching, Ye Wei's grandfather, was the head of the family. Ye Zing-ching had 4 sons and 3 daughters. Ye Wei's father, Ye Yi, was the oldest among his siblings and was responsible for the Ye family's cloth trade. The oldest and second oldest sons were responsible for mystic arms and scrolls, respectively, while the youngest son ran a restaurant. All 3 of Zing-ching's daughters, except the youngest aunt, were married. Mom, I'm not hungry. Stop making a fuss. Ye Wei couldn't stand his mother acting as if everything was fine. As he stood up and looked right into his mother's eyes, he asked sincerely, "Is the family doing okay?" Ye Wei saw and felt something was not right with the family. Having overheard the conversation between his mom and the butler, Ye Wei came to a conclusion. The Ye family is going through a crisis. And it was not a minor one, or his father would not be away for 5 days, nor would they have only 4 guards at the front gate instead of the normal 8. Nor would Granddad have sold his green-maned unicorn and carriage. My child, why are you worrying about these little matters? You should just pay attention in school and focus on your own problems. Flustered, her eyes were darting around. Jo-won wanted to change the topic. Mom, I'm a grown-up, and Ye is my last name, so the family's business is my business, Ye Wei declared solemnly in a deep voice while keeping eye contact with his mom. Oh, my child, if you insist. Jo-won walked to her son, patting his head, and sighed, mumbling to herself as she was still a little hesitant, wondering if it was the correct thing to do, being completely open to Ye Wei. Have you heard of the Du family? Jo-won asked after taking a deep breath. The Dus are one of the big 3 in Green Moon City, right? Is our family business being challenged by the Dus? Ye Wei asked with a big frown on his forehead. Unfortunately, his mom nodded. Mystic scrolls, arms, restaurant, cloth, and the horse ranch. Everything was affected, especially our scroll business. 70% of our family's revenue comes from scrolls. The Du family just hired a rune master's first apprentice to personally inscribe all the scrolls in their shops, whereas the scrolls on our shelves were inscribed by a regular student from the Rune Masters Union. On top of that, they're undercutting our price by 30%. The scrolls are basically stuck on our shelves. Jo-won was upset, and it was visible all over her face. We had to lower the price because the scrolls weren't selling, but we won't be making any profit on them. We are not as wealthy as the Du family. They can use their money like this to hit the Ye family's business, but we can't do anything about it. We've been struggling for 2 months now, and the family is running low on resources. Your grandpa even had to sell his unicorn carriage. It's a crisis, like none we have had to face before. Little Wei, your grandpa, dad, and uncles are supporting the family, so you shouldn't worry about the ins and outs of everything. Just focus and practice on your studies at South Star, because only when you are strong will you be able to help the family. When you are as strong as, say, your cousin, Ye Zong. You shouldn't worry or feel guilty about your expenses. If worse comes to worse, your mom's dowry will be enough to support you until you finish your education. Jo-won patted her son's shoulder, trying to comfort and reassure him with transparency and proposing a backup plan. Why did the Du family do this to us all of a sudden? Did one of us step on their toes? Ye Wei wasn't really worried about his expenses. All he cared about was his family's well-being, because he knew he could trust Lin Zian to put in a good word with the right people, and that she will inform the vice principal when school starts again, which could possibly score him a scholarship, making money not a problem. There are around 300 people under the Ye's roof, including family members and employees. If the family collapsed, what would Grandpa do? What would Dad and my uncles do? Ye Wei felt the weight on his shoulders, wishing to be of help in this dire situation. Although I am just a 2-star student, And though I am far from as useful as my cousin Ye Zong, I should be able to do something with my excellent soul sensitivity. It's not impossible for the family to get out of the slump. What bothered Ye Wei was the mysterious motive behind these economic attacks from one of the big three. The Ye family is hardly big enough to be considered a threat to the Du family, and their bullying simply didn't make sense. No, we didn't step on their toes, and we're in no position to mess with them. The dispute started when Grandpa refused to sell our plot of land next to North Hill Bay. That land was passed down through generation after generation. Selling it was out of the question for your grandpa, which was more than reasonable, and that should be respected. Do you understand? Ever since the refusal, the Du family started to take action against us. They started by ruining the restaurant, horse ranch, and other minor sources of income, which was not a huge problem. But 2 months ago, they started undercutting our scroll business, the lifeblood of the Ye family. Joan was filled with indignation. What kind of behavior is that? Ye Wei, too, got emotional. Just because you want to buy it, we have to sell it? That is a disgusting attitude. They know very well that that plot of land belonged to us since forever, and that our family's tomb is there at North Hill Bay. I know technically it's Grandpa's decision not to sell it, but I'm sure the rest of the family would think the same in the name of our heritage and family history. Don't worry about it, son. And we have something to celebrate tonight. Your little aunt, Ye Jingjing, has broken through. She just became a 7-star warrior, and we're throwing a dinner party tonight for the occasion. His mom smiled. Little aunt is that good now? Ye Wei, too, smiled enthusiastically. Like star levels with students, breaking through the 5th and 7th star level are major obstacles, but the power one can gain after breaking through is significant. Students can perform stances once they reach 7 stars. When warriors reach the 7-star level, they gain a thin layer of ki, primal feathers, which will permanently cover their body as an extra layer of armor, and it grants them the ability to levitate, making them stronger and faster fighters. Some say it takes more than a dozen 6-star warriors to take down a single 7-star warrior. Ye Jingjing was Ye Wei's youngest aunt. She was 25 years old, and she is even more gifted than Ye Zong. Even condensing prime stage was within reach for her now that she's a 7-star, only 3 stars away. To establish a family, getting to condensing prime stage was an unwritten cultivation requirement. And there were only 2 warriors at that stage in the entire family. Grandpa, a 3-star condensed prime warrior, and Big Uncle Ye Hai at a 1-star. Other than his parents, Ye Jingjing was the closest to Ye Wei in his family. Because of this, Ye Wei was ecstatic about his little aunt's progress. Okay guys, sorry it was a long day and long night. That's going to have to do it for this one. It was a long chapter too. But expect 2 videos today. You get this one now, and you should also be seeing another one tonight, hopefully with like between 2 and 5 chapters. So look forward to that. I'll see you there. Later.